Hey guys, in this episode we are going to be adding a hex anywhere. So this will be used later on to detect, generically detect pieces of malware based on URLs, strings, or other predetermined things that are the same from one copy of malware to another copy of malware. We'll also be adding reports and yeah, that's it this week. Hopefully I'm going to try and get through this fairly quickly. And then next week we will only be doing one change at a time. I've reviewed a few of the comments left for me and some of the analytics that Google has, and a lot of people seem to be getting bored halfway through and giving up pretty much. But we're moving now towards something that's more respectable and closer to an antivirus than what we started with. So we're almost ready to drop the simple. This is starting to become an effective scanner if you add the correct database to it with the correct detections in it. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight in. This week there's going to be no graphical changes. Hallelujah, there's no graphical changes. So we're going to jump straight into our scan engine. And we're going to go up. We're going to find our Hex Scanner. Hex Position Scanner, which is here. We're going to copy everything up to the var. Like this. We're going to come above it. We're going to write a new function. So start function, object, hex, anywhere. It's going to require an object, a path, it's going to be a string, we're going to require a signature, and that's also going to be a string. Now, I'll tell you something funny whilst I'm doing this. I've already done this once today. I've done this once today, and as I was doing it, the recorder crashed, and it didn't save. So we're going to bash through this really quickly because I've already figured everything out, which means there shouldn't be any debugging to do, and it should be nice and simple. So we're going to start by adding some integers. We want H, and we want pos, which is going to be our position, and we want parsers. So fairly simple. What this is going to do is we're going to use the same read section from this to read our file again, and then we're simply going to look in every section. So we're going to start by setting everything to 0. Right, so now everything's set to 0. We're going to come down, and where it says try, I'm going to put a line in there, make it in line, and we're going to do parsers is equal to the file size divided by 512. Now someone's going to ask me why 512. We're dividing it by 512 so that we have 512 bytes overlap in each time. We're doing this so that as we scan, we don't miss our signature by cutting parts of it off. Right, so as you can see, we've now got our parsers, so we're going to divide the file size by 512, and then we're going to add an extra pass. The extra pass is going to catch everything that's less than 512. For any of you who are curious, it doesn't matter because we've got it as a file stream, so what will happen is it will just read zeros for everything else. So we're going to call this to the number of parsers. Then we're going to do a begin, and then we're going to cut everything from here this way. So 1 begin, 2 begin, 3 begin, 1 end, 2 end, 3 ends. That's an easy way to figure out where you've got to cut. Dump that in here, We are then going to align it all so that it's in the right place, like that. Then we're going to change this to position, change this to position, and then we're going to start adding some more lines. So we need to add the I equals 0. I know we did this back there, back here, but this will be our loop. This is going to need resetting each time it goes around, or it's just going to stay at 1024 and you'll get nowhere. So now we're going to set the position. The position is going to be H, which is here, times 512. So the number that's H times 512 will give us our position. And then from there, we're going to read 1024 bytes. Now, I'm looking at the version I just wrote on my other laptop. And what we need to do is right here, where the begin starts, we need to put the buffer to nothing again. This will be important because the buffer size will absolutely increase mentally as we go through, as it will increase the same amount as it will increase the same amount each time and won't empty. So we've emptied it. So now we're going to head up here to our scanner function here. We're going to come down to here, and what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. So we go through 3 again. So we're going to copy all the way to 3. I'm going to come here, press enter, go back, drop that in. Now here we're going to change this. We're going to have to declare it first. Come down here, copy this, hex, object hex anywhere. Put that in there, press enter again, save. And then we need to come here, object hex anywhere. And then what we need to do is we need to take this last variable out. We don't want the position anymore, as we're looking through the whole file. Right, so that pretty much does the scanning side of it. Now we're going to move on to the scan manager. And we're going to come in here and we're going to change a few things. So what we're going to do is we want to copy this text. We're going to press enter and we're going to dump it back in. And what we're going to do is we're going to write here, creating report. Now this will be used later on when we actually scan anything to tell us that we're creating a report, and if you've got a lot of files detected, it might take some time. Say you scan your whole hard drive and it finds a lot of viruses, a lot of pieces of malware. It will take a long time to create the report because it'll have to add a lot of lines. So now we've done that, we're going to leave that like this. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to add something before we leave. So we're going to come up here and we're going to type in files, detected, list. Now it's going to be a T string list. And now we're going to come down into our function, just here. We'll do files, detected, list dot, no, equals T string list dot create. So as some of you guys who have watched my previous videos will have figured out, I type a lot quicker when I know what I'm typing. Files, detected, list dot free. It's just something that some of you will pick up on. I type a lot quicker when I am not thinking about what I've got to write because I've already written it. So now we're going to move on to our reports. We're going to make a new unit and we're going to call it reports. Right, and at the top we're going to need Windows, we're going to need syst utils, and we're going to need time utils? Date utils. And you will need to spell Windows correctly. Right, so now we're going to come in here, and I know ahead of time we're going to need scan manager as a declare, or scan manager as a declare. Manager scan. Missing the A. So we're going to create a new procedure, and in our procedure we're going to call it create report, or we're going to call it create scan report, and it's going to only require one thing. It's going to require is folder. That's a boolean, and as a procedure it doesn't return anything. So the first thing we're going to need to declare is a lot of variables. We're going to need a few variables in this. First variable is going to be the report file. This is just going to be a text file. And the next thing is the file name temp. This is just going to be a string that holds a temporary file name that's generated each time. We're going to need the scan type, which is a string. We're going to need I, which is an integer. And we're going to need path string, which is going to be the string that contains our path. And we're also going to need current date, which is going to be a t date. Oh no, t date time. We're going to use it for time in a minute as well. So we're going to hit save, and we're going to start making our function. So we're going to set the current date to now. That will be the current date on this system. If your system has the wrong date, it will display the wrong date. File name temp. So we're going to start generating our file name. Now we want it to be scan report with an underscore at the end, and then we need to format date time, and in here we need to put the format we want. So we want days, then we want months, then we want years, we then want an underscore, and then we want hours, minutes, which is an N for some reason, obviously because months is an M, then we want S, and then we want Z. So in simple, we're going days, months, years, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. Someone's going to ask me why we're using milliseconds. We're using milliseconds because if you scan two files really close together, they're going to be in the same bunch. Or seconds would solve that, but we're going to use milliseconds just because, you know, we can. So you use current date as our date for that, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to add a simple extension of .text. This will allow you to open it in anything, as there isn't currently the functionality to open them in this program. Next thing we need to know is is it a folder? So if it is a folder, the scan type is equal to folder, and if not is folder, preferably needs to be all one word like that, then scan type is going to equal file. Quite simple, you know. So now we're going to do our path string. Our path string is we're going to use get current dir plus, we're going to have to put some things in here, so we're going to do a backslash reports backslash again, and then we're going to need our file name. So file name temp, and that's it. Now we need to assign the file. So we need to assign file report file, and then the path. So path string. We then need to rewrite it. So we're going to rewrite our report file, and then we're going to start doing write lines. So it's very simple. Each one of these is just going to write a new line. And what we're going to do is we're going to need a lot of these. So I'm just going to copy this line and dump it in here about 20 times. like, is that more than I need? No, I need a few more. If we have too many, we'll just delete them afterwards. So the first line, you want to do a load of spaces, and then somewhere in the middle you want to write scan report. You could put the name you choose at the top. I'm not going to bother. And then some more spaces. Preferably about the same as you put below. The next line is just going to be blank. We want to use it as a separator, and then we're going to do the date. And then we're going to do date to string. And the date to string, we're just going to use current date. And you do need to put a plus in here to make it all one string. And the next one, we're going to do time. Once again, plus time to string, current date. And then we're going to do a space, and we're going to come down here and we're going to do scan type. And then we're going to do plus scan type, which will give us the type we predetermined earlier. Next one down after that, we're going to do total files scanned. And then that is going to int to string, because we saved it. We used a live variable of an integer, and that should be number of files scanned without the space in the middle. Nope. Number of files scanned. What have I done wrong here? This is why it's important to name everything. Oh, we've missed one of our displays. Scan engine. It still not likes it. We take one of these S's out. Yep, that's it. Right, now after that we are going to do the files infected. And we're going to just do an int to string again. And this is infected count. And then we're going to come down again, and we're going to do fail to open. Now, why would these fail to open? They would fail to open usually because either another program has the handle open and it's not in share mode, or the file might have just been deleted. There's a lot of things. And we're just going to type in failed to open. And then the next one down, we are going to do file to big. So we're pretty much dumping all of our variables that we set in our scan engine into a file for later reference or something along them lines. If you say you want to know how many files are detected last week whilst you're doing it, you could do that. Right, now we're going to change into the slightly complex bit of this. And I say slightly complex because it's not very complex. So we're going to do if file, oh no. Oh, we did declare it already. File detect files detected list is greater than 0. So we're just going to simply check if there is something in our, oh no, we need to do count. So if the count of our T string list is greater than 0, we know there's something in there. Then we're going to do a begin, and then in this begin we're going to drag all of our 4 things in here. We're just going to highlight these ones and not do that. Do that. And then what we're going to do is leave the top one blank, so that's a space between this and this, and then we're going to do a lot of spaces, and in the middle somewhere where we did the one up above, do files infected. More spaces until we get similar to what there was above. We're then going to leave one, and we're going to do status, a load of spaces, some more spaces, file path, some more spaces, another one, and detection. No, we're going to do signature. And then some more spaces. And what this is going to give us is a very simple, yet very easy to read layout. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to do 4i0 to files infected, no, files detected, list.count -1. We do -1 because this is going to start counting at 0 and this starts at 1. And it will mess us up if we don't. So then we're going to do a begin and we're going to paste in another write. I'm going to do infected as the first bit of text, some spaces, one of these or one of them, some more spaces, and then we're going to dump in file detected list dot string I. Files detected string. Why is it not like this today? It is strings. That's why. Like that. Now currently this variable has nothing in it. So we're going to have to come back to our scan engine here. And right here we're going to have to add a line. Files detected list dot add. We might have to declare this one in here as well. We will have to declare this in here because we haven't yet. Scanner manager, like that, and we can see the error disappears instantly, which is just what we wanted. Dot add, and what we're going to do is we want to add the file path plus our dividing line with a couple of spaces either side of it, plus this, which is going to be our signature name from our database, or our current database. We're going to change that if this series continues. We'll end up changing that. So we're going to copy this, and because it's the same for every piece of this function that checks for detection, we can simply add it to the bottom like that. We're now going to save that. Our reports is now finished. We do need to declare it now. So we're going to copy this up into here, declare it. We're then going to go copy this bit of it. And we're going to come over to our scan manager, and on this hole, we do this, and we're simply going to type in is folder. And that is the variable. We do need to declare this though. So there you go. So that disappears. The variable we're going to use to check if it's a folder is the same variable we use to check if it's a folder to begin with. So is folder. So we're going to use is folder. And because we use is folder, we can simply copy it into the other half. So this will work in both sides, because if it ends up in this function, is folder is not is no. And if it ends up in this function, is folder is yes. Right, so we're going to give it a test run, and hopefully it works off the bat. We have no database found. So what we're going to do is we're going to load one that I know where it is. Straight from here, which is the same database I made last time with you guys. There you go. And we're just going to save it in our Win32 folder in the debug area as database.dat. And that will now reload when we want it to. So we're going to browse to a folder. We don't want the Win32 folder this time. We want our YouTube folder we always scan. When we come over here, we're going to hit scan, and the first thing you'll notice is it runs slower. It runs slower, but as you can just see, we've detected putty twice. We've detected putty twice because it's been detected in the hex position and in the hex anywhere at the same time. So we can see our hex position is working. We just got to wait to the end of the scan to see if our reports creation is going to work. And at the minute it won't work. We've got to jump ahead of the scanner as quickly as we can and stick a folder in the way that's called reports. New folder. Like that. And we've jumped ahead of the scanner. So in the next episode, we're going to be adding one function. I've noticed a lot of you guys on YouTube, you don't want to watch it. The video is a bit too long. I'm fully aware that the video might be a bit too long. This isn't a simple thing to do. If it was a simple thing to do, it wouldn't take as long. I'm showing you in a quality way of doing it. You know, I'm not copying and pasting code. I'm actually writing the code with you. You get a great understanding of the code. So we're going to move to just doing one function at a time, and it's going to be released every Saturday. So every Saturday, about 8 or 9 at night, GMT, so Greenwich Mean Time. And as we can see, we didn't get an error, which hopefully means if we open our reports folder here, we do indeed. We have a report. And as you can see, it's just propagated into the reports file. So if we open it, we can see that we have our files. We can see that 4 files were too big, that 3 were infected, and we scanned a total number of 180 files. This is the date, that's the time. And like I said, if you were going to put your name, if you're going to name this something, then you could have put it up there. So we're going to close that now. And that is pretty much it for this week. I haven't decided what I'm doing next week. It all really depends on how many views the videos get over this time. I am kind of thinking of stopping this series already. This is the 6th episode, I believe, and it's not doing particularly well. There's not a great deal of people watching it. Clearly, there's not particularly a market for people that want an antivirus or want to learn how to make one. So we might move on to something slightly different. I haven't quite decided yet. We might continue with this for a few more weeks because I do enjoy doing it. I do enjoy the coding side of it. I do enjoy showing people how to do something that isn't necessarily easily found. I'm grateful for the time to do it, but if no one's watching it, there's not really a great deal of point in doing it. And I hope you guys understand that. And I would ask you a big favor that if you know someone who would like or enjoy this video, do please pass the link on to them. You know, get them involved. It might be the difference between me continuing to develop this software and it continuing to be open source. I'm hoping that the views pick up. I've seen other videos who have a lot more views and they make a lot worse of a product. Especially people in .NET. So guys, if you have any questions, you have any suggestions, would you like to see it in a different language? I'm thinking of making an API. So for those of you who don't know what an API is, it's kind of like a plugin system. So I would make a DLL, a dynamic load library, and it would contain extra functionality which the code is not publicly available, let's say. I have had words with the team over at ThugTech Labs in maybe letting me develop a plugin that uses part of their scanner or part of their older scanner to increase the community detection. I don't know how well that would go down on the internet. I don't know if there would be people particularly interested in it. So we'll have to see. So leave a comment in the bottom. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. It would really make a difference to me. It would show that people really do want to watch this, and that you know, that people are genuinely interested in it. So next week, I'm still unclear of what exactly I'm going to do. We've almost reached the limitations of it in this state, and the next state would be turning it into a service and a client, which is something I haven't seen on the internet. In fact, I haven't seen a public open source scanner get this far so far without it being a fairly commercialized product like Clam AV. So please do leave me a comment in the description, in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Until then, keep playing around with it, keep modifying it. You have a modification you like, give us a shout out, you know. And until next time, I will see you then.